Hey everybody, it's Julie here again. Hope you guys are all doing good. I am tired tonight. I'm ready for bed. But anyways, um, okay, so it's week 3 of my vlog. And again, in keeping with the renovation of myself with this vertical sleeve gastrectomy process, um, tonight's renovation analogy will be weeping tile. And that doesn't mean run for the Kleenex boxes or anything like that, but it was kind of an emotional week for me. Um, I guess I am, well, not I guess, I know, I am officially out, if you will, to my family. Um, when I first made the decision to go ahead and have this procedure done with Weight Loss Forever, I told my mom, just because my mom and I are pretty tight, and I wanted her to know, and she was kind of a little bit, well, why, what are you doing, and da da da, parental concern, and that's a good thing, but I said to her, I said, don't tell Dad. I don't want Dad to know, because I was scared that he was going to be angry, that he was going to try and change my mind, that he wouldn't agree with me, that he would, I just didn't think he'd approve. Um, so then after I've been starting this whole video blog stuff and I'm kind of out a little bit on Facebook with it, I'm like, I mean, my dad's on Facebook too, and I would feel absolutely terrible if he or my brother had to find out what I was planning kind of secondhand, like through the grapevine, and I'm just like, that's not cool. So I decided I'm going to bite the bullet, and you know what? I'm out, and it's going to be what it's going to be. I've already decided I'm doing this. I've made up my mind, and so let's just get it out in the open and move on. So I phoned up my dad, and we chit-chatted, and I was so nervous to tell him, but it was a good thing. I mean, he was very supportive, and he had lots of questions and stuff, and I mean, I think it's one of those things where, at least for myself, it doesn't matter how old you are. I think you always kind of want to have your parents' approval and make sure that they're okay with what you're doing. And at least for me, I don't know, but having my parents' approval and support is very important to me, and so it meant a lot that he was okay with it, and just, it's my decision, and if that's what I feel I need to do, then okay, and so be it. And then he asked me, well, have you told your brother? Like, no, I haven't. He said, well, don't you think you should? I'm like, yeah, I probably should. So I called up my brother, and he was phenomenal about it. He was proud of me, he said, and it was really nice. It was reaffirming, and by the time I got to phoning him that night, I mean, I was like an emotional basket case, hence the weeping tile. There was a lot of tears, and it just felt like such a huge release for me to be able to say it and not have to worry about hiding it, not have to worry about, kind of skirting through the back door and all that kind of stuff. It was out and it was done. And the other emotional piece of weeping tile today, you'd think for someone who has a weight issue that, you wouldn't be super picky about food, like that you'd eat everything kind of garbage guts. Yeah, no, not me. I have food issues. Ask anybody I work with. I'm like, oh, you don't like this, you don't like that, you're weird. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I am weird. I am not a huge fan of meat. Like, I mean, if I don't eat meat, I'm okay, which obviously that's going to have to change because protein is such a key part in this whole process. And protein shakes, as I've kind of alluded to, are a huge source of stress for me. Like I've said a few times, like protein and shake are just two words that don't belong together. It's like meat and loaf. It's like, it's disgusting. Like, ugh. Anyways, so I've had my facilitator, Claire, has given me samples to take home and try, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll try them. Oh, they're still sitting in the bag. I haven't had the nerve yet to try them. And then I'm like, okay, I gotta do this. I've got to do this. Maybe it's a good thing I'm not having surgery till October 3rd. So I went to Popeyes this past weekend, and I was kind of snooping around in there. I'm like, well, I've heard the fruit ones are kind of just like the fruity flavor. It's a good way to kind of ease in, and it's kind of just like juice. Well, I like juice. So I bought this big tub, and like there's no sample size. It's like all or nothing. Anyways, it's some mango peach paradise or something. Anyways, so my husband comes home, and he's so supportive and he's trying to get on board with me. He's like, you know what, we weren't really hungry at supper tonight. He says, let's try a shake. Let's just do it. Let's just try a shake. And I said tonight, I shared out at the support group meeting. I'm like, it's like the TV show Hoarders. They're like, okay, if we take this item and we're going to ask you to throw it away or give it away, where's your anxiety level at? Well, that's like Dave saying to me, okay, let's have a protein shake. And I'm like, ask me where my anxiety level is at, because it's probably sitting at a 12 out of 10. I could just feel it, and I'm nervous. And honestly, like I did it. Him and we shared a shake, so I have officially had half of a protein shake. There was a little bit of aftertaste I found just slight, but I am sensitive to that. It was hard for me to get it down, and by the last swallow I was starting to dry heave a little bit, which is maybe a little bit too much information. I apologize. But I did it. I have had a half a protein shake, and I'm here to tell a tale, and I've survived. I mean, whatever. Did I like it? No, not really. But I do have a few other options that I'm going to try and just see. I mean, I'm thinking, well, maybe if I was to whip this thing up I bought a magic bullet today. I bought a magic bullet today. So, maybe I can, if I was to frappe this thing up with some ice, I think maybe that would probably help. Yeah, anyways, I have food issues, but I'm going to have to get used to it. So and it was weird because after I was holding this glass of protein shake, I'm looking at it and I started to cry, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, this feeling overcame me, and it was like, this is going to be your life. And I don't know, I mean, I know realistically, like, I'm not going to live on protein shakes from now until the day I die. I mean, but I think protein shakes are going to be a huge part of my life, at least for the next while. As a meal replacement, or just, getting that food, getting that protein in, that's the key thing, keeping your protein levels up, and that's going to be key. And it just overwhelmed me, and I'm standing there, I'm starting to cry, and I'm feeling like such a baby, and this is such an emotional journey. I mean, like I said, there's days when I wish I had the sleeve done yesterday, and then there's days where I just feel so emotional about everything, and maybe it's a good thing that I haven't gone yet, so that I can kind of work through some of this stuff and just really get my head game on. But anyways, for those of you who are just tuning in, or this is maybe my first video you've ever seen, I'm having a vertical sleeve gastrectomy through Weight Loss Forever, which is a Canadian company. And if you're interested or you want to check it out, just go to their website, weightlossforever.ca. Fabulous company, fabulous people, fabulous support. I can't say enough about these people, and not only the facilitators and those, Melanie who owns the company, like, but the people who go to these meetings and who support each other, like, it's just great. I mean, it's just a huge community. It's wonderful. Anyways, that's all I've got for this week. Stay tuned. I'm sure there'll be more adventures in Julie Land. And my renovation, I don't know what kind of renovation analogy I can come up with, because I am in no way, shape, or form carpentry minded. So these little renovation analogies, I'm just kind of pulling them out of my butt, if you will. But anyways, have a good week, and I will see you next week. Talk to you later.